Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive from the Moore's Global Finance podcast team. I'm John.
And I'm Tiffany.
And we are ready to help you navigate the sometimes confusing world of gold and silver IRAs.
Especially for retirement.
That's right. So today we're going to be talking about Goldco and Lear Capital.
Two big players in the space.
Exactly. You've probably seen their ads everywhere.
Especially if you've been doing some research, which you should be doing.
Always good to do your due diligence.
Absolutely. So we're going to break it down for you. What are the key differences between these two companies? What are the pros and cons?
So that you can make a decision you feel good about.
Yes, because it's a big decision. You're talking about your retirement here.
It is. And, a lot of people are turning to gold and silver as a way to diversify.
Especially with all the, market volatility.
Right, exactly. So that's why this is such a hot topic.
So let's jump into it.
All right, so first off, let's give a little overview of each company.
Okay.
So Goldco, they were founded in 2006, and they really focus primarily on gold and silver for retirement accounts.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they've also won a bunch of awards for their customer service.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, always a good sign.
It is.
Now, Lear Capital, they've been around a bit longer.
Oh, okay.
Founded in 1997.
All right.
And they offer a wider range of precious metals.
Like what?
So not just gold and silver, but also platinum and palladium.
So a little more variety.
Yeah, exactly. So right off the bat, you can kind of see some differences in their approach.
Definitely. Now, what's interesting is how their history kind of plays into their strengths.
Oh, how so?
So Goldco being newer to the game, they've really honed in on this specific need of investors who want to diversify their retirement portfolio with gold and silver.
Right.
And they've really structured their IRA offerings to potentially minimize tax burdens during rollovers.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, it's a very unique approach.
So if you're super focused on minimizing taxes within your IRA,
Yeah.
Goldco might be the way to go.
Right, or if you want more options, Lear Capital might be a better fit.
Got it.
Now, in terms of services, they both offer pretty similar core services.
Like what?
So obviously setting up precious metal IRAs, which lets you hold the actual physical gold and silver in your retirement account.
That's cool.
Yeah, you're not just investing in some kind of paper asset.
Right. You've got the real deal.
Exactly. And then they also offer direct purchase of precious metals.
Oh, so outside of an IRA.
Yeah, if you just want to buy some coins or bars for your own personal investment.
So you have those options with both companies.
Yeah. And they both know that investing in precious metals can be a little intimidating for some people.
For sure.
So they offer educational resources to guide you through the process.
That's helpful.
Yeah, and they can also help you arrange for secure storage.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about hiding your gold bars under your mattress.
That's never a good idea.
Not at all.
Okay, so let's talk about some details that jumped out at us during our research.
Okay, I'm curious.
So Goldco, they've got some pretty impressive endorsements.
Oh, really? Like who?
Sean Hannity,
Wow.
Chuck and Gina Urschel,
Okay.
and Ben Stein.
That's a pretty diverse lineup.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's something to consider.
Definitely, it shows they're appealing to a certain type of investor.
Right now, Lear Capital, they boast a price advantage guarantee.
Okay, what does that even mean?
Yeah. So they're really emphasizing competitive pricing.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they also highlight their sales, which are up to $3 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're really showcasing their market dominance.
So it's like they're speaking to different audiences almost.
Right. Exactly.
That's interesting.
So let's say someone's listening to this and they're like, all right, I'm ready to take the plunge. What are the steps involved in getting started?
Okay, so first things first, you got to do your research.
Of course.
Check out their websites, maybe grab a free guide or investor kit.
Okay.
Then you schedule an initial consultation.
Okay, so this is where you actually get to talk to a real person, not just a chatbot or some FAQ page.
Right, you get to have a one-on-one conversation, ask all your questions, really get a feel for how each company operates.
I like that.
Yeah, and this is also where you'll discuss your investment goals.
Makes sense.
And you can get details on their fee structures and see if their approach is a good fit for you.
So it's like a first date with your potential financial partner.
Exactly. You want to make sure there's good chemistry.
Right.
And that you're on the same page.
Yeah.
You want to make sure they're not going to ghost you.
Exactly. So after that crucial first date, what happens next?
Well, if you decide to move forward, you'll move on to account, set up, funding the account, and finally purchasing the metals.
That's pretty straightforward.
It is. But before you get too excited about all that shiny gold and silver, we got to talk about fees.
Yes. The less glamorous side of investing.
Right, but super important.
Absolutely.
Well,
So let's break it down.
Okay, so Goldco, they charge a one-time account opening fee, an annual fee, and then storage fees,
Okay.
which can vary depending on like the method you choose.
Right, makes sense.
They also they pride themselves on segregating client assets.
Oh, what does that mean?
So basically, it's for added security. Even if something were to happen to the company,
Right.
your investments are protected.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, especially if you're worried about the long-term safety of your investments.
Right. Makes sense.
Now, Lear Capital, their fees are a little bit different.
Okay. How so?
So they have separate fees for the first year and then subsequent years.
Okay.
And they also offer potential discounts for larger investments.
Oh, so like the more you invest.
Yeah, the lower the fees.
Interesting.
And they also give you more flexible storage options.
Oh, so you have more control over where your metals are kept.
Exactly.
So it seems like both companies have different fee structures.
Definitely.
But, it makes sense from a business perspective.
Right.
But I wonder, does that actually benefit the average investor, or is it more geared towards like attracting high net worth individuals? That's a good question. And it's definitely something to think about. Don't let a flashy discount overshadow the bigger picture.
Right, exactly. It's all about doing the math and seeing what actually makes sense for your situation.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the history, the services, the fees, but what are people actually saying about these companies?
Right. We got to look at the reviews.
Exactly. So we dug into some third-party reviews, and it seems like there's a mixed bag of feedback for both.
As with any company.
Right, so some customers are like raving about their experience. They love the helpful service, the ease of use.
Yeah, they're happy campers.
But then others are complaining about high fees.
Or difficulty selling their metals back.
Right, so it sounds like individual experiences can vary quite a bit.
They do, and online reviews, you always have to take them with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
But it's helpful to look for patterns.
Right, are there recurring themes?
Exactly. Are people consistently praising or criticizing certain aspects?
That's a good point. So let's dive into some specifics. What stood out to you in the reviews?
Well, for Goldco, a lot of people were praising specific representatives for going above and beyond.
Oh, like who?
There were multiple mentions of a representative named Ben Moechi.
Okay.
People were saying he was super knowledgeable and really helpful in explaining the complexities of precious metal IRAs.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it seems like they really prioritize those personal relationships.
Yeah, that personal touch can be so valuable,
It can.
especially when you're dealing with something as important as your retirement savings.
Right.
Now, what about Lear Capital? Did you see any similar positive feedback?
Yeah, there were a lot of shout outs to a representative named Frank.
Okay.
And people were really appreciating his patience in explaining things to first-time buyers.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, breaking down those complex concepts.
Makes it less intimidating.
Exactly.
But let's flip the coin. What about the negative experiences?
Okay, so with Goldco, some customers felt like the sales tactics were a bit aggressive.
Oh, it's like they're being pressured.
Yeah, to invest more than they were comfortable with.
That's never a good feeling.
No, you don't want to feel like you're being pushed into something.
Right. Investing should be a thoughtful decision.
Exactly, not a high-pressure sales situation.
And what about Lear Capital? Were there any recurring complaints?
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about a lack of transparency with the buyback process.
Oh, is it like if they wanted to sell their metals back?
Yeah, they felt like the process was more complicated than they were initially told.
And they weren't happy with the price they were offered.
Right.
So it seems like both companies have some areas where they could improve.
Definitely.
Transparency, communication,
Yeah.
those are key.
Especially when you're dealing with something as valuable as precious metals.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Look at the bigger picture. What are Goldco's main strengths?
Well, they're really focused on gold and silver for retirement planning.
Okay.
They're dedicated to client education, personalized guidance, and they offer that segregated asset storage.
Right, so they're really appealing to those security-conscious investors.
Exactly.
But what about their weaknesses?
Well, some people found their sales tactics to be a bit pushy,
Right, we talked about that,
and they also have a high minimum investment requirement.
which could be a barrier for some people.
Definitely.
Okay, so strong focus, commitment to security, but potential for sales pressure and a higher barrier to entry.
Right.
Got it. Now, what about Lear Capital? What sets them apart?
Their wider selection of metals,
Okay.
more flexible storage options,
Right.
and they're very transparent with their online pricing.
Okay, so more variety, more approachable for new investors.
Yeah.
But what about their weaknesses?
Well, some people had issues with their buyback program.
Right. Lack of transparency, lower offers.
Yeah. And while their customer service is generally good,
Okay.
there were some inconsistencies reported.
So more choices, smoother entry,
Right.
but potential concerns with the buyback process, and inconsistent customer service.
Right.
Okay, that's really helpful, but now I'm sure our listener is wondering, with all this information, which company comes out on top? What's your expert take?
Ooh, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Of course.
It really depends on your individual needs and priorities.
So it's not about declaring a winner, it's about finding the right fit.
Exactly. Think of it like choosing a car.
Okay.
Some people want fuel efficiency practicality.
Right.
Others want a sporty convertible.
Makes sense.
Both are great cars, but they serve different purposes.
I like that analogy.
So for our listener who's been diligently comparing these two companies, how should they be thinking about making this decision?
Yeah. What are the key questions they should be asking themselves?
Well, first, what's your primary goal for investing in precious metals?
Okay.
Are you mainly focused on diversifying your retirement portfolio with gold and silver,
Right.
potentially minimizing those tax burdens?
Sure.
Or are you looking for a broader range of metals, more flexibility in how you manage your investments?
So it's like figuring out your investment personality.
Exactly. Are you the cautious planner or the adventurous explorer?
I love that.
And then consider your comfort level.
Okay.
Are you okay with a higher minimum investment,
Right.
potentially navigating some sales pressure?
To gain access to that specialized guidance and segregated storage.
Exactly. Or do you prefer a more approachable entry point, transparent pricing?
Even if it means potentially dealing with some inconsistencies in customer service.
Right. It's all about weighing those trade-offs and deciding what aligns best with your needs and your risk tolerance.
So no easy answers.
No, but here's the good news.
Okay.
Both companies offer free guides and consultations.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so you can really kick the tires, ask the tough questions, get a feel for which company feels like the right partner.
Like a second date.
Exactly where you delve deeper.
I like it.
And during those consultations, pay attention to how they answer your questions about fees, the buyback process, their overall approach to customer support.
Good advice.
Trust your gut feel.
I love that investing isn't just about numbers.
No, it's about feeling confident and comfortable with your choices.
Absolutely.
And remember, investing in precious metals, whether it's through an IRA or direct purchase, it's just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to building a well-rounded retirement portfolio.
It's all about diversification.
Exactly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
So consider how precious metals fit into your overall financial strategy.
Right.
Do your research explore other options? Maybe even talk to a financial advisor.
To create a plan that aligns with your long-term goals.
That's great advice. I think we've given our listener a lot to think about today.
We have.
Any final words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Just remember, knowledge is power.
I love it.
The more you learn, the more confident you'll be in making those smart financial decisions.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, seek guidance, and take your time.
It's your future.
Exactly.
Well said. Well, we hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and the confidence to navigate this world of gold and silver IRAs. Remember, the best investment is the one that aligns with your goals, your comfort level, and your vision for the future.
Happy investing, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.